Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is something that we experienced 4 years ago. Well, 3.5, 4 years ago. Yeah. And, it was kind of like annoying, really. Did you know that the truth is finally coming out about the 6 foot stay away from me recommendation? According to the testimony of the director of the NIH, his name is Dr. Francis Collins, there was no science or data behind it. Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? So we were all, being tortured with that 6 foot thing. So, but unfortunately, the social distancing recommendation had real life consequences that made it nearly impossible for the schools and stuff like that nationwide to reopen due to the pressure from teachers unions to follow this made up guideline, if you will. And then in addition, businesses had to adapt at a great cost or risk complete closure. So there's a Q&A, okay? And the link is in the description box below for the Q&A in its entirety, okay? And it's like an interview, I guess you could say, of what he did, okay? And it was done by the House Select Committee, subcommittee on the pandemic and stuff like that. Okay, so the first question, okay, that I have, it says, moving on to social distancing and the various regulations surrounding that. On March 22nd, 2020, the CDC issued guidance describing social distancing and to include remaining out congregant settings, avoiding mass gatherings, maintaining and distance of approximately 6 feet from others when possible. We asked Dr. Tony Baloney, that's what I call him, where the 6 feet came from, and he said it kind of just appeared, is the quote. Do you recall science or evidence that supported the 6 feet distance? And the answer was no, I do not. So then the next question was, is that I do not recall or I do not see any evidence supporting the 6 feet? And his answer was, I didn't see the evidence, but I'm sure I would have been shown evidence at that point. So the next question was, since then, it has been an awfully large topic. Have you seen any evidence since then supporting the 6 feet? And the answer was no. So Dr. Collins testified that the lab leak theory was legit and not a conspiracy theory. Oh, good Lord, let me straighten the tinfoil hat. So the question was, all it's calling for is a yes or no. Answer. Is the possibility of a lab leak a conspiracy theory? And he answered, you have to define what you mean by a lab leak. And the question was, putting aside de novo, the possibility of a laboratory or research-related accident. A researcher doing something in a lab, getting infected with a virus, and then sparking the pandemic. Is that scenario a conspiracy theory? And he answered, not at this point. He was also unaware of any NIH policies that would have ensured proper oversight of foreign labs, which means that the NIH often lacks the necessary expertise to ensure U.S. taxpayer funds are spent safely. He claimed that Tony Baloney invited him to attend a February 1st, 2020 conference call that prompted the public narrative suppressing and vilifying the lab leak hypothesis. And Dr. Collins, his statement directly contradicts Tony Baloney's previous statements on this matter. So the question was, how were you made aware of this phone call? And his answer was, I think, again, it was 4 years ago, initially informed by Tony Baloney that the call was happening. And then I think I got this email forwarded about what the agenda, keyword, was going to be from Dr. Farrar, who was clearly the person organizing the call. So then the next question was, did Tony Baloney ask you to join the call? And he said, well, yeah. So Dr. Collins reaffirmed his belief that the Great Barrington Declaration was dangerous and could result in great harm, and the declaration rightfully challenged the scientific basis of mass lockdowns, but was labeled as a dangerous fringe theory by media and scientists alike. Yet another case of the conspiracy theorists being correct. So the question was the second to last line of question. There needs to be a quick and devastating published takedown of its premise. What do you mean by that? And his answer was, I mean that this is a dangerous approach that could do great harm. I'm looking for a response from credible experts to get that response out there quickly before this becomes somehow a U.S. policy that seemed like a potential risk. Yeah. So there you have it. More is coming out. Now I know this was just about the 6-foot rule, but still in all, how inconvenient was it for every time we would go shopping, wherever it was that we were going shopping, I mean, if you remember, like if you looked on the floor, there was like these little, like, if you want to call them stickers or whatever, that would say, you can only go down this way, or you can only go down that way. And then it would also have like the 6 foot, stay 6 feet away, stay 6 feet away. And it would literally be like a sticker on the floor every 6 feet, every 6 feet, every 6 feet. So, I mean, I remember that whether it was Aldi's or Walmart or Target or wherever you would go shopping. And I had gotten so fed up with the whole darn thing. That's why I started shopping online. And I said, forget it. I'm not doing this anymore. Whoops. I mean, I couldn't bear with it anymore. It made my anxiety so high that I said, forget it. And I stayed home, because it got to the point where I said, I have my Sam's Club. They deliver for free. If I really, really, truly need to go into a store, that's when they started doing the curbside pickup. I can order online and I can do the curbside pickup. If I really, truly need to go into a store for like produce or, to pick up like personal items or whatever, I mean, that's, in and out quick, whatever the case may be, because I couldn't handle that. It literally made my anxiety go through the darn roof. So, I mean, I know, safety first, whatever the case may be, because at the time, nobody was any of the wiser. But now, when all of this is now coming out, holy smackaroni, I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Okay, I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.